What is gravy, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a little bit of a chill one, taking a look at just how much of my collection I've actually finished. This is going to end badly. Before we get started, if you go on to enjoy this video, please do hit that like button. It does help me out a ton, and if you're new, consider subscribing. With that out of the way, let's get to it. Now we're going to kick things off with the PS2, which you can see just over there. And the reason for that is because I actually don't feel so bad about this one, so let's get off to a good start. Out of the 11 games that I've picked up, I've actually finished 9 of them, albeit many years ago. The only 2 in this little section that I haven't finished are Dirge of Cerberus, the Final Fantasy spin-off, and Prince of Persia: Warrior Within. I have played these games at one time or another, but just never got around to finishing them. And of course, I would absolutely love to go back and rectify this, but I'm not going to lie, it's probably not going to happen for a long time. There's just too many games. Couple of nice little shout-outs in this part of the collection, though, are the Shadow Hearts games, and yes, they're aged, they're dated, but I still stand by they're amazing, and play them. Just play them. Jumping forward a generation to the PS3, and I will be entirely honest with you, things are already starting to get a bit dicey. For some context, this console is what kicked off my collecting, as many other people did when Sony decided they were going to close the storefront. I panicked and went on a little bit of a shopping spree. And then Sony retracted that statement and I'm stuck with these games. I'm not complaining. I even went as far as to try my hand at buying random eBay lots. These did not work out in my favour. In fact, quite a few of the games that I haven't finished in this section are from that lot, and yeah. So out of the 46 total PS3 games I have, I've finished a grand total of 26 of them. And like I previously said, some of these games I have absolutely no interest in playing. The only reason that the Formula 1 Championship Edition is on my shelf is because it's actually a pretty clean copy of the game, and that's it. There are, of course, several games in this section that I want to get back to at some point. Arkham Origins, Spec Ops: The Line, Final Fantasy 13. These are all games pretty high on the list. Although, thinking about it, I should probably start with Dante's Inferno because that's one that I actually did start not too long ago, maybe a year. Shows you how often I actually play the PS3, even though it's plugged in right there. But we'll see how we get on. Taking a brief detour, we can see my one Xbox game, and that is Sunset Overdrive. And I picked this up pretty recently, and I do fully intend to play this one. This is one that's like cream of the crop list, but I just haven't got around to it yet. Moving on over to the Switch, and let's be real, it is entirely obvious what I use this for. If you couldn't tell, I have a massive soft spot for Pokemon, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this, other than this is the first of 3 copies of Final Fantasy X you'll see today. However, that's not what this video was about. And the shocking realization is I've only actually finished 2 of these games. Obviously, Arceus is one that's pretty recent, and I am working on that, but, you know, Horizon, Elden Ring. What am I gonna do? Okay, last stop on our little detour is the Sony handheld family. And this starts off pretty easy, because I only own 2 PSP games and I've finished both of them. I mean, they're only Need for Speed games, but it still counts, okay? Every little is going to help me. The Vita, on the other hand, is not so great. So far out of my tiny library of just 9 games, I have finished 2 of them. Yeah. I kind of wanted the Vita for a long time, but I only ended up picking one up last year. And the reality is I've just not been playing handheld stuff as much as I normally would have. I got through Tearaway pretty quickly, but after that, nothing really just sort of drifted off. And then obviously Diamond and Pearl and Arceus came out, and they were the handheld things I was playing. But I've recently gone and finished Lego Lord of the Rings, and that was an amazing achievement. Thank you. But I'm finishing off that platinum, and then I fully intend to go and get some more of these Vita games done. Okay, we're on to the final level now, and if you've stuck around for this long, thank you. You can have a cookie. The PS4 is the generation that really kicked off my gaming, and so it's the one that sees the most love in terms of collecting. I actually own 2 limited edition PS4s, which still baffles me, to be honest. This love does not translate into completion though, and I just did the count, and I'm actually feeling a little bit ill. Counting each game in a bundle separately, as it probably should be, there are 79 games in total, and I have finished a grand total of 25 out of 79. Now, I have loaned out a couple, but that wouldn't help me. It would just increase both numbers. So, I've not got any excuses, to be honest. For some of these remasters, obviously, I've played the originals, but I didn't really think that would count, so I didn't count it. But for things like Final Fantasy X, Uncharted, Devil May Cry, I have played these games, just not these versions of them. And so at the top of my list for things I should definitely get around to, I'm going to say Nier Automata, however you want to say it. The Witcher 3, I know, and Bloodborne. Okay, stop shouting. I see you over there. No tutting, okay? Just don't. New goal for the year. Finish some damn games. Ugh, okay, maybe the PS5 can help me end on a high note or something, I don't know. This is just tanked, isn't it? So this isn't the largest PS5 collection at all, obviously, but I've managed to pick up 28 games and finished 14 of them. I don't think that's too bad. Obviously, Elden Ring is one that I'm currently working on, very slowly, but there are definitely a few in the list that I really need to get around to. Returnal is one of the biggest ones, for sure. I just kept putting it off. I don't know why. I just kept thinking, well, I'll finish this, and then I'll go to Returnal, and then I'll finish this, and then, oh, this is coming out, so I have to finish that, and it's now been about a year, and I've just not touched it. But who knows? Maybe with this new co-op thing, I'll finally get around to it, and someone can just carry me through. And aside from that, Judgment and Scarlet Nexus are both games that I really want to jump into at some point, but after making this video and coming to this realization, it's probably not going to happen for a while, which is kind of sad. Right, so that is the entire collection. Out of the 182 games on my shelves, I have finished 82 of them. So that means that there are 100 games behind me just sat there waiting for the heat death of the universe, because that'll probably happen before I actually play the bloody things. Guess I've got my work cut out for me, eh? But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this startling realisation as much as it shook me to my very core. The list of games I've got to play is going to have a significant reshuffle, I think. Probably get through some PS4 games. That might be a good place to start. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you all next time.